This is the Jim Heath channel. Next, Jim reveals his top 10 probable Donald Trump VP picks for 2024. Now here's Jim Heath broadcasting from Studio 1C, where facts come first.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Heath from Studio 1C tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We are discussing the big topic of who will Donald Trump pick as his running mate in 2024. It won't be Mike Pence. Mike Pence, you can take him, wad him up, and toss him in the trash, because that is just, politically speaking, that is not going to happen. And so in many ways, a lot of the individuals that I have on this list, there are 10 of them, are sort of the anti-Mike Pence. But let's begin with number 10, Arizona U.S. Senate candidate Kari Lake. Of course, Kari Lake ran for governor of Arizona a couple years ago. She was defeated, even though she's claimed that she didn't lose. So I guess technically, in her head, she's kind of the quasi-governor, but now she's running for the Senate. But regardless, Donald Trump is not going to make her his running mate because she lost. I mean, let's just face it. She is not the legal sitting governor of Arizona, and there's no way that Donald Trump is going to put somebody on his ticket. As attractive of a running mate as Kari Lake may be, he's just not going to do it. She doesn't carry Arizona for him, and I think that Republicans are going to insist that she's going to be the Senate nominee, and she can't run for both. So Kari Lake is number 10 on the list. Number 9, environmental lawyer Robert Kennedy Jr. He is slipping further and further, and quite frankly, I think he'll be off this list completely in a month or so. But he's still on it because he's a unique choice. But I think that the Trump people and Donald Trump himself are a little worried about his record. He has a checkered past, and unlike Trump, who seems to be Teflon about everything, Robert Kennedy Jr. is not. Number 8, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. He's new to my list. I'm beginning to look at him a little closer now. He has been extremely loyal to Donald Trump since his campaign for the U.S. Senate. Of course, before that, he was not loyal at all. He didn't like Donald Trump at all. And some of those words from 2016, I think, will come back to haunt Vance. And it's the reason why he's kind of low on this list. Vance really doesn't do a lot for the ticket. Number 7, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Now, of course, Tim Scott ran against Trump earlier this year for the nomination. He's a gentle guy. He's a kind guy. He reminds me, frankly, a lot of Mike Pence. And that's why I think he's slipping further and further on this list. So the opposite of Tim Scott, coming in at number 6 on the list, is entrepreneurial Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, of course, this guy ran against Trump earlier this year, and he sounds a lot like a younger mega Donald Trump. The more rallies that Vivek had, the less support that he had in both Iowa and New Hampshire. So this is not a real likable guy, and I think even Trump would say that. And for that reason, I think that he's got a high probability of being in a Trump cabinet at some point if Trump wins again. But being vice president, a heartbeat away, I just don't think that's going to happen. So now we get to the top 5. And each one of these individuals on the top 5 list, I think, have individual merit of why they could enhance Donald Trump's ticket. Beginning with number 5, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She is loyal to Trump to the T. Her father, of course, is famous. He was governor of Arkansas before she became governor of Arkansas. She's a winner, unlike Kari Lake, who didn't pull it off in Arizona. Sarah Huckabee Sanders did in Arkansas. Her dad is really tight with the Christian evangelicals, as is she. She was completely loyal to Trump during her stint as press secretary in the Trump White House. And while she doesn't bring a big state to the mix, she is a woman who does bring a lot of faith voters, kind of locks them in for the fall. So she is not the strongest of the 5 on the top 5 list, but she's there because there's merit to putting her on the ticket. At number 4, conservative media host Tucker Carlson. Now look, this is a long shot pick. And I know a lot of individuals have removed Tucker Carlson from their list completely. But you gotta remember that Trump is Trump. Trump likes a show. Trump likes a performance. Trump likes a big deal. And if he needs this summer a big name to put on his ticket, if polls show that the economy's getting better, people are more comfortable, and Biden has a bigger shot of winning re-election, then somebody like Tucker Carlson, if not Tucker, somebody like him, could very well be the flash that Donald Trump believes he needs to put on his ticket. So Tucker kind of represents, for me, all of those outside choices that we already know that Trump may tap if he feels he's in a little bit of trouble this summer. Number 3, former Trump-era housing secretary Ben Carson. Trump and Carson have always gotten along. There's always been a great deal of respect there. And while Trump may feel that he can't control all of Ben Carson's moves and thoughts, Nonetheless, Carson has caved to a lot of Trump thinking through the years. So he might be the African-American guy that heads this list and is the most likely to be on the ticket if Donald Trump decides he wants to make a real play for the African-American community in the fall, and particularly for black men who seemingly, according to polls, are more receptive to Trump than black women. At number 2, Representative Elise Stefanik of New York. The individuals have moved her to the number 1 spot. I'm keeping her at 2. She's the number 4 House Republican. She's made a lot of campaign stops this past year to support Trump. She issues a lot of statements, particularly on social media, backing him and echoing his language. She also introduced a resolution to expunge Trump's impeachment following the attack on the Capitol back on January 6, 2021, which made him extremely happy. As a matter of fact, he's called her a quote-unquote killer, which in Trump vernacular is pretty good. So she's obviously very, very high on the list, but I have her at number 2 right now because at number 1 is the individual I think makes the most sense for Trump. That's South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. She would certainly help him regain some support from suburban women who voted for Joe Biden 4 years ago. She's only 52, which would mean some youth on the ticket, which would be good for Trump considering he's just a few years younger than Joe Biden. She's also been a fierce defender of Trump. She's criticized his criminal indictments and the efforts to disqualify him from the ballot for the past 6 or 7 months. She actually said she wants to see him on Mount Rushmore, the pride and joy of her state, the tourist attraction there in South Dakota. She said that she'd like to see Trump there. So what better way to get to Trump's ego than suggesting he belongs snuggled in between Lincoln and Jefferson? And he's also said very good things about her as a possible pick. So for all of those reasons, when you look at all of these individuals, I think that Kristi Noem of South Dakota makes the most sense to be Donald Trump's running mate. All right, that's the top 10 list. Let me know what you think. Please leave comments down below if I've forgotten anybody or if you have a disagreement on where they're placed on this list. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time right here on the Jim Heath channel for more Election 24 updates. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, ring the bell, and if you're feeling generous, hit the thanks button below. Follow Election 24 right here on the Jim Heath channel, where facts come first.